about what I've been through. 10 years past and at last I see we're back to the facts that I've been through. Still trapped in the past like I tend to, but I swing back like a pendulum. Love, I swing back like I'm clocking, man. Better watch these hands, better watch these hands. We starting back at 10 to 1. Eyes that I'm punching in a bit late, yo. With sincerity, I'ma be star, boys ready and able. Gain some clarity about what I want, life I'm really gon' make though. However long did it take, yo? However long did it take? That's a tricky bit. Transition of a stable job, penniless. Man, think about the chance I got. It's heavy shit. Man, wishing that I stay alive. It's 36. Okay, I swear to God, it's everything. But that's 10 years in the future that I'm stressing about. Feel fucking hard but getting left without a sense of happiness that isn't drenched in doubt. Like, whether I go from pocket change to stock exchange, the fork in the socket, providing a shock again. It don't gotta change the fact that I got lots to gain. Lie more than a lot of a slaughter game. Lie more than the applause of a shot of fame. Lie more than a trying to hide the pains by finding the silence inside my brain. Okay,
We lost the leg, but we're back. So this song is actually a crazy full circle moment. The first version of this story begins almost 10 years ago. Back when I was 17, I made a video called How to Make a Rap Song in 90 Seconds. Might have seen it.
It's 5 years in the future that I'm stressing about. Fear working hard but getting left without a penny to my name. And if anything would change, I'd be praying it's the change in my bank account. But
again, at that age was massive to me. But what made that song special wasn't the views, it was the verse. That verse was actually me writing about my fears of the future. Literally in the lyrics of the verse, I'm wondering where I'll be at in 5 years. Will I be an artist? Will I do what I studied in college, which was completely different? Where will I end up? Because at that time and at that age, that was kind of my first experience dealing with real anxiety and just not understanding where I'm going to be, and that fear of the future and anxiety about the future was so overwhelming because I guess the world expects you to have everything figured out and know exactly who you want to be at the age of 17 or 18. Which is kind of nuts. The song was always called Constellations because it was about wondering if the stars are ever going to align. And if I'll be able to commit to my journey as an artist I've become or the person I'll become. Now it's almost 10 years later. So this song is like a response to that verse. Almost a second verse to the same song, you know what I mean? Reflecting and responding to those fears, but also addressing some of my new ones. Because that's the funny thing about uncertainty and about fear, it never really leaves you. There's always something to worry about in the future, especially if you're like me. Especially if you deal with anxiety, which definitionally that's what it is, right? Like stressing about things that haven't happened yet, that are maybe even out of your control. Some of these fears are the same. Some of them are completely different. That's just part of growing up. Every version of you thinks you're going to solve uncertainty or it's something that'll go away. And when I was that age, that felt really overwhelming. The difference now is I've lived enough years to understand how to navigate that. To understand that 9 times out of 10 things work out better than I can even imagine. And that was something I really tried to drill into my head back then too. I would watch the interviews of my favorite artists and, you know, learning from these Kendrick interviews, these Russ interviews, and trying to just soak up game. And that was something that someone said once where it's like, you know, you keep wondering what if, right? What if this doesn't work out? But yo, what if it works out better than you can even imagine? And I've seen that. I can attest to that over the past 10 years that things tend to work out. That's kind of where my faith in the future comes from. And that's kind of how I'm able to ride those waves of anxiety and allow those clouds to come and go because of that knowing that, hey, this feeling will pass and this worry will pass. And even this actual tangible thing that you're worrying about will probably pass. And it gives me peace, but it also gives me hope that, yo, why not assume that things will work out? If you have ambitions in life that feel scary, you have emotions you're feeling that feel scary, there's steps you want to take that are uncertain. I hope you internalize that. What's meant for me cannot miss me. It is impossible. And once you start adopting that mindset, you start to see evidence of it. And I can just name you so many things, both in my music career and in my personal life, where I see that over and over and over again. And that evidence then builds confidence that, yo, like, yeah, I feel anxiety right here in my gut. Let me breathe. Let me allow it to pass. And I have too much evidence to think any differently. about the future. And yeah, things really do work out better than you can even imagine. Before I get into how I made the beat, I wanted to give a quick shout out to the people that made this video possible. And these are my friends at American Musical Supply. They hooked me up with this incredible piece of hardware, this Native Instruments Control S49. If you're a gearhead like me, you need a spot where you can just get everything you need. They have the type of equipment that any kind of artist producer would look for. And they're super easy to use, but more than anything, I think what I respect and I appreciate about them, they support, look out for, and collaborate with real musicians on the come up, on the rise, still building. And that support goes a long way for artists at that stage and at that level, and that's something that I see and I respect. So definitely check them out for your gear needs, but also they got amazing content on YouTube as well, so peep that and show them some love. Need a water break. Alright, boom, back to the beat. Just like the verse was a response for this song, I wanted the production to also be a response to that younger version of myself, just in terms of artistry, just in terms of how far we've come when it comes to production and taste. So I took the same chords and replayed them in a more synthy instrument. Yeah, went kind of crazy on drums. I took some sounds from a Sap Jerk kit, chopped them up and loaded them in, and I very rarely are you gonna catch me playing drums on the keyboard. Don't even use that much to chop drums. I mostly just like to draw them in. Rarely are you gonna see me doing it like this, but I gotta say this was fun. Maybe I'll do it more. It kind of unlocks a more unconventional patterns and ideas. And I thought that was fun. I think my favorite part though about using this was the bass, because I got to use the pitch bend wheel and it was so sick. Usually I'm doing that manually. I'm creating those pitch bends manually, but to be able to do it right here in the hardware, super satisfying, super fun. So basically I'm adding all these elements to kind of make it sound like the song grew up with me, and it sounds like an evolved version of the song, a true letter to my younger self, both on the lyrics and on the production. That's really what the song is. It's not a finished song, it's not a masterpiece, it's a demo for sure. Even with the vocals, I recorded them a couple takes and just let it be what it was. And maybe I'll clean it up, maybe I'll finish it and do something proper with it. But for now, I just wanted to document these feelings and ideas in real time. I think we get a lot of songs where it's just, talking that talk. I do it a lot, other artists, other rappers do it a lot, and that's fun, that's fire. There's always a place for that in hip hop, right? But to me, this is why I make music. Because it's not about proving something. It's about documenting where I'm at right now. As an artist, as a person, documenting the fears, the uncertainties, the ambition, the gratitude, everything. And that's why I love making songs like this, because they really are audio journals. I can go back now and listen to what 17-year-old me was afraid of and worried about. I can see what came true. I can see what worked out differently. I can see what worked out for the better. And that's a beautiful thing, right? Music is about decorating time. It only makes sense that we're documenting time as well. So if future me is watching this right now, here's what I want to say. Everything is going to work out better than you can even imagine. Not because you were forcing outcomes, not because everything went according to plan, but because what's meant for you, truly meant for you, and what's aligned for you will not miss you, cannot miss you. You can't lose. Keep going. I'm still right in the middle of my journey right now, I still got a long way to go. I have the biggest dreams. I'm trying to climb the top of every possible mountain, but that's just where I'm at right now. And I've seen enough to know that regardless, things always work out for the best. So if you're following your heart, can't lose. You can't lose. It's not about the superficial. It's everything in between. It's how you feel right here. Anyway, that's the thought process behind the song. If you made it this far into my ramblings, I really appreciate you. I really rock with you. And let me know too, if you rock with this demo, if you think I should finish it up, if you think we should make it a real song, put it out there, because that's always an option with any of these cookups, Episode 2, RMS in the Lab. Much love. I'll see y'all soon.